Joining me is Sophie Elsworth, media writer of the Australian newspaper. Sophie, thanks for your time. Why has this happened?
Well, Andrew, I would argue that there's such groupthink within the ABC, the taxpayer-funded broadcaster. When Conservatives enter the fold in there, they open their eyes pretty quickly and see that they're really not welcome. I mean, you look across the shows on their radio, their TV, their online commentary, heavily skewed left. There's really no room for Conservative voices at the ABC, it seems. Tom Switzer's obviously packing his bags, as you said. Amanda Vanstone's going. I mean, can we name anyone at the ABC who would be deemed a Conservative voice or someone on the right? And Andrew, I'm scratching to find anyone there, and I don't really think the ABC want that. And that is where it's letting down the taxpayers, because they should be representing the Australian public, not just one section of the community that is left-leaning.
Well, on that very point that you don't think the ABC wants it, I was struck by the fact that Chairman Ita Buttrose, right, appointed by Scott Morrison, what a backfire that turned out to be, she has actually made clear the ABC would no longer hire even people like me, who'd been a regular paid commentator for a decade before leaving the ABC and coming here to Sky News. Here she is.
I certainly hadn't thought that Andrew Bolt would be a great fit for the ABC. So there are no job offers out there, Andrew. Sorry, Andrew, but there are no job offers.
Well, I wasn't wanting one, but that's not the point here, Sophie. What is going on against under Ita Buttrose?
Well, Andrew, I actually think those comments, why Ita appears to try to be making light of them, is actually a pretty ill-advised commentary to be making about you. It shows to me that she's basically saying Conservative voices are not welcome at the ABC. They don't want them. This is shown throughout who they hire, who are their key broadcasters, what are their views. You can see them in their commentary. And the right-leaning Conservative voices in the Australian media are not really welcome at the ABC. This is a problem, Andrew, that is right at the top, from Ita Buttrose down. What are they doing about this? What is the government doing about this? And now that we have the Labor government in, nothing will change. But the Conservative government, the coalition, did nothing about this in the 10 years they were in power.
Correct. The ABC, you mentioned, this is a wider issue. You actually reported yesterday on a perfect example of this bias, the overwhelming bias of the ABC during the debate on The Voice. Now, the ABC commissioned a review into this coverage. What did it find?
Well, Andrew, it was the ABC investigating themselves, as they often do, and it found that about 51% of voices relating to the Voice referendum were in favour of The Voice. It was in the low 20s that were no voices. Now, I do note, Andrew, in the 9 entertainment papers and also in The Guardian, they pointed out that Jacinta Nampijinpa-Price had rejected over 50 interview offers by the ABC. I love that they work in lockstep and go with the same line. This is not about Jacinta Price knocking back interviews at the ABC. This is about the fact they can't get no voices on the ABC. There's a stream of people in the Australian public that were opposed to The Voice, and the ABC battled to get them on. And I think that begs the question, why aren't these voices, such as Jacinta Price, going on the ABC?
Well, in part because of the treatment they get from the ABC. You might recall that the ABC, by the way, ran a notorious 17-minute-long diatribe, virtually uninterrupted, certainly never challenged, by Noel Pearson, a Yes campaigner, where he dumped on Jacinta Price, said terrible things about her, said terrible things about Peter Dutton, and just 70 minutes, like it was almost like a paid advertisement on Patricia Karvelas' show. Disgraceful. Sophie Elsworth, thank you so much indeed for your time.